What's up, guys? Synthetic Division here. So, I've got an interesting one here for you. I decided that it was time to buy one of these. This is an NMaxe Gamma. Now, I've had this for a month now. I've been running it a month straight. It literally our 1 month anniversary run of this. I decided let's make a video about it. Let's talk about it, and let's review it. So I have my desk light off right now because this thing gets a gnarly glare on it. So let's go ahead and turn it on. You're gonna join me with the glare. So there's the light. Now, to preface this video, the reason this one is kind of an interesting one is this one is kind of generally hated. I don't know if I think the brand, the company is not liked, and I think the reason that was because of one of these. This brand, this isn't one of their brand. This is one of my own, but they ran those NMaxe or NM miners, the 1 mega hash miners that got or closed source and people are not happy about. And anyways, so I think that was that caused that discontent. But let's get into the device. Let's talk about it. Let's look at packaging, the whole works, and just a general overview of what I've got. So this is the NMaxe Gamma. It's loosely based on a Bitaxe Gamma. It's a 1.2 terahash model with the BM1370 chip. The main difference between this and a Gamma, obviously this has a color screen, so that's more like a NerdAxe. This is a 12-volt device. This is no longer a 5-volt Bitaxe Gamma. I did a little bit of research to figure that out. Plus, when I went to set it up, I actually went to test it with my 5-volt power supply that I keep on my desk, and it didn't work. Well, turns out it's 12 volts, and that's why I have a power brick over here in the corner, if you look. So let's get it unplugged. Let's take a look at it. Talking about aesthetics, this is probably one of the coolest that I have looking Bitaxes. Big boy heatsink, color screen, barrel jack, and then it came with 2 heat sinks on the back on the voltage regulator and inductor coil. And then it comes on this acrylic stand. You can see that pretty good there without any glare. So it's kind of cool, kind of a cool device. Mine's been running at about 1.2 to 1.35 terahash. Really not bad. Super efficient to get that terahash. To get that, no overclocks. To get that, it's been running at about 16 watts. Okay. Again, this is 12 volt. This is a 36 watt brick that it comes with. So yeah, it's been getting like 14.23 watts per terahash, which has been really good. Really good. Better than any Bitaxe Gamma that I have, any of the 601s. The only one that it's comparable to is actually the Gamma Duo, but that's a different animal. That's a dual chip one that's 5 volt. So let's set this aside real quick. Let's get into the packaging on this guy. Really nice box it came in. That's the box. Nice and thick. Got the logo of the company, NM Miner. And then nice inserts. Got the instruction booklet. No weird spelling, no bad. Usually when you get stuff from China, have some off words or misspells. Some screws. And then there's a little screwdriver in here. And this screwdriver is to put it on the stand. Because it actually doesn't come on the stand. It comes with this on the back. So you put the stand on. This is a vented back panel. And let's put that away real quick. So really not a bad miner. And again, I know there's some tear between the open and closed source. I get it. It's like the argument of ages for that. Like, we get it. There's a big deal about it, okay? But I buy hardware, test it, use it in day-to-day basis. So that's kind of what I do. With this one, I haven't had any trouble with it. I know there's been rumors of it backdooring updates and stuff like that. I haven't had to do any of that. Unlike what I've heard about the little 2.8 displays, I've heard that those have backdoored, but mine haven't. There is an update available for it, and I just haven't done it just because I wanted to leave it alone and see how it works. but I've heard there's been some kind of backdoor forced updates with these. These are two whole different animals. This is one hash if you buy their software. This is 1.2 terahash, so literally giant difference. This retails. There's two variants of it. There's this variant with the black fan, and then there's actually a variant with the Noctua fan. The Noctua one's about 150 bucks, and this one's about 130. I purchased mine from AliExpress. You can purchase it from nmminer.com. So, with that in mind, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's get down to the reason why everybody's here. Is it a good gamma? Loosely a gamma. I don't really think it's a gamma. I think it's a completely offshot of one. It reminds me more of a NerdAxe. A little bit different layout, smaller PCB, a little bit more. I feel like it's more closer to a NerdAxe than a Bitaxe. It does run a forked version of. I don't know if it's a forked version, but it's Axe OS. But they say it's open source, but I don't. I did some searching. I couldn't find the miner. It's the code for the OS. So basically, it looks like a little bit better version of NerdOS. So take with that what you will. In my mind, it goes like this: basically, you got Bitaxe Gammas, NerdAxe, and then this. This being like your more expensive model. It looks really good. It's closed source, obviously. Runs really efficient, and it's 12 volt, which separates it from the rest. I did reach out to their tech support. They seemed friendly enough. They responded with any of the questions I had. So they do have a little bit of a warranty, from my understanding. I'm not 100% on that. I couldn't really find info, but I think they do. I thought I read it on their website. But all in all, I like this miner. Am I going to buy another one? No. At the prices of Bitaxes right now, it doesn't make sense to spend $130 or $150 on another Bitaxe. That being in mind, if you're looking for a desktop model, like a cool display one, this is kind of right on there, that list of cool looking, runs well, got some fancy LEDs on it. I can plug it in and show you. There's LEDs on the back, there's some LEDs on the front. That's kind of cool. Uh, yeah, I think that's about where I'll stand with it. I probably won't buy another one. Maybe if they make something different in the future, like a bigger model or maybe like a GT variant or something, maybe then I will. Um, Now, I wanted to discuss a little bit in this video, not too much, because again, I know there's a big spew about open source, closed source, but here's my thoughts. I'm going to give you my opinion of closed source, and then of open source and closed source and how I look at it. So, with me having automotive background, the closed source, open source is really cool because look, you can get, it's just like aftermarket parts. You know what I mean? You can get parts and stuff, but there's also a downside to being able to do that. You see a lot of rip-offs of factory OEM car parts. Well, the same thing goes for the Bitaxe program, the Bitaxe project. If you look at all the terrible miners out there that are like Gamma clones, basically, or Bitaxes, but they're just terrible build quality, terrible. Sometimes it seems like the components are bad too. That's where closed source makes a little bit of sense. It just playing the devil's advocate here because I really appreciate the open source projects, but at the same time I understand the need to be closed source because your name and your reputation is on the line if someone buys this miner. Now, if someone bought this and it was an absolute turd and they go to send it back and these guys are like, well, we didn't even build that. That's not ours. That's someone else's. See the problem there? So I get it. I get it. I can see both sides of it. I'm not here to argue it. I do like to hear people's opinion on why. I think it's interesting. Being so new to this industry, it's really good to understand all sides. Try not to. It's better to before you formulate your opinion of anything. It's awesome to stand in the middle and just kind of watch. And that's what I'm doing currently. I'm checking out everything before I make my decision. But I bought it. It works well. I haven't had any trouble with it. The company was good when I reached out to them. So, but I don't recommend buying one right now. Price is too high. Is it good quality? Absolutely. Fantastic quality. Really good. Aesthetically pleasing. Looks good on the desk. So, anyways, guys, that's my thoughts. I'd like to know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm curious what you guys think. If you have one, what's your experience with it? Have you heard of it? Have you seen any problems on the back in with backdoor updates or anything like that? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for taking time to watch the video, guys. Give it a like if you would. Subscribe if you want to. Peace out.